So let's start the class. In this session, what we'll be doing is we will be trying to understand variables. Variables are the similar concepts that most of you guys know if you are coming from different coding backgrounds. But even if you are still new to the programming, I'll let you know what variables is from very basic, and we'll also try to understand data types in Python, and then type conversions, that is converting one type of data to another. In other languages like Java, in other languages, this will be called as type casting. But in Python documentation, we call it type conversion. Almost and all, it is bit similar. And then in the fourth one, we will be trying to take user input. So where the user will be entering input from the keyboard, and our code will store that input. So these four topics will be discussed in today's class. And in the end, I will also discuss the fee details and the platform details as well. So let's get in. First and foremost, to learn programming, you only need to focus on two main things. First, you must understand how to store and handle data in your program. And second, you need to learn how to perform operations on that data to get desired outputs. Here, data can be anything like a number, an integer, a decimal number, a text. And here, the operations on that data, meaning calculations, comparisons, or transformations performed on the data. So in this class, we will learn how to store and handle data, and this is done with the help of variables. So a variable is a variable in Python is a name that points to a memory location where data is stored. Here, memory is nothing but your RAM, the RAM of your system, and here we'll be storing data through via Python, and variable is something that points to the memory location to access the data stored in that location. So this is the syntax of writing a variable name, assignment operator, and the value, the data that you want to store, that you want to align with this variable. So more clear definition of this variable will be cleared as we progress in the class. So this is an example how we create a variable. Instructor, assignment operator, and Naushad. And most of you who are new to the programming, you might be thinking this is equal to sign. This is not is equal to sign in Python. It is called as an assignment operator. Its purpose is different. So as we progress in further classes, you will understand what is the difference between assignment operator and what is the actual is equal to operator. So for now, the purpose of this operator is to assign the data to the variable. So here, instructor is the variable name. Instructor is the variable name, and variable name that points to the memory location where Naushad is stored. So once I write this in Python and once I run this, Python will be saving this data on my RAM, and this variable instructor will be pointing to that memory where Naushad is stored. So you can imagine this like containers in your kitchen. For example, you have containers that store sugar, that store salt, and you stick labels on those containers saying this is salt, and this is sugar, right? So here, container is the memory on RAM that is storing sugar, and label is the variable name. So you can this is an analogy to help you understand variables with a real world example. So let's go to our VS Code editor and write some Python code to understand the variable more clearly. So students who are new to today's class, we already installed Python and VS Code editor in our previous class, in yesterday's class. Yesterday's class was all about Python installation. We have recording version of that live class. So if you want that recording version, I will text you, WhatsApp me if you missed yesterday's class. So this is how the VS Code editor looks like. This is the editor that we will be using throughout this Python bootcamp. So now let's go ahead and create a file called variables.py. .py because this is a Python file and Python files will have .py extension. And now let's create a variable called instructor. Quotes and Naushad. Fine. So this is the same example that I discussed in the presentation. So here, instructor variable is created, assignment operator that joins Naushad, the instructor name, with the instructor variable. And this is, and when I run this code, so when I run this code by clicking on this icon, what is happening is Python is creating a location on memory and storing storing Naushad in that memory. And instructor variable is pointing to that location. So this is what happens when I click on run button, but we don't see any output here. So to see output, what we are supposed to do from previous class, if you remember, we will be using Python function to display anything on the screen, right? So let's use Python function now. A Python print function and then instructor. So when I run this code, what happens is the instructor name will be displayed on the screen here, Naushad. So if I change the value here, if I write Rajesh and run it, and again the variable again the output changes to Rajesh, because now in the memory Rajesh replaced Naushad, and then instructor variable is assigned to that Rajesh memory, and that is printed using print function. So this is all about variables. And if you observe in yesterday's section, we wrote print function, and then we wrote double quotes, and then we wrote a message in it. In today's print function, we haven't included double quotes or quotes to the left and right of the instructor. So here is the major difference. So when you write something within quotes in print function, that is hard coded, that is a prompt message. And when you want to print a variable or print any kind of stored data, you are not supposed to enter quotes in print function. So that's one simple thing that you guys should remember, and you will get used to it if you are very new to the programming. And moving forward, if you observe this Rajesh, this data is set of characters. This is called a string data. And now we also have integer kind of data. So in the integers, what happens is age is equal to 35. Here, if you observe, I'm not mentioning any double quotes. Why? Because anything mentioned in double quotes or quotes in Python is considered to be a string, is considered to be a text. And if I want to assign an integer value, a number, a whole number, then I'm not supposed to enter that number within quotes. And now let's print this age and see what we see. So here, if you see, welcome to the class. This is the hard code prompt message from within the double quotes. And here, Rajesh is the instructor variable that stores Rajesh data. And here, 35. 35 is the age variable that is pointing to the memory location where 35 is stored. So you got the difference, right? So if you have any doubts till the point, you can ask me in the chat section. This is pretty basic for people who are coming from the programming background. But still, if we have some non-programmers in the class as well. So if you have any queries, you can ask me in the chat section, or else we'll be moving to the next topic. And the next topic is rules for naming variables. So when creating a variable in Python, there are few important rules. Variable name must start with a letter or an underscore, not a number. So age is equal to 25. This is something that we just wrote in our editor. So this is a proper way to name a variable. And a variable name should not start with a number. So let's see what happens if I start a variable name with number in our VS Code. So here, age is equal to 35. Now let's write a variable name with starting with integer. To age is equal to 44. So write the point when I write a number and create a variable. Here the VS Code editor is giving me a red underline beneath it. It means that this is not the proper way to write a variable. So it means that this is not a proper way to write a variable. If you observe here, we don't have a red line for this age, for this variable. But here we have a red line. That means this is not the proper way to name a variable. So we are not supposed to write or start a variable name with integer in front of it. And then the second rule is variable names can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores, but not any special characters other than this. So, as said, you can include letters, you can include an underscore, and you can also include numbers in between the letters, but you cannot include any other special characters to name a variable. So now let's write a variable name with a special character in it and see what happens. So I will write a instructor, and I will write a special character like @ here, and is equal to assignment operator and Rajesh. So as soon as I write a special character in the variable name, what I see from the VS Code editor, a red line. It means this is not the proper way to write a variable name. VS Code there itself, VS Code is warning us to not write variable names in this way. So that's what it means. And what if I write a variable name in the wrong format and run it? Let's see what happens. A special character. So here VS Code is clearly saying this is not the proper way to write the code, write the variable name by displaying a red line beneath the variable. Now let's run and see what happens. A error occurs. Syntax error, invalid syntax. So this is not the even when we run, even the terminal in the Python is saying this is not the valid syntax. This is an invalid syntax. So our code will not execute further. If you observe, none of these variables are printed here, right? See, so because why? Because we created a invalid variable name and our program terminated right and there itself because there is a mistake in the code. So if I remove this special character and then run the code, then you can see all the print information here on the screen. So that's a small demonstration to show you how to name a variable. What happens if you name a variable in the wrong format? And the third rule is variable names are case sensitive. So age with capital A and age with small a, Python will see both of these as two different variables. So you should be very careful while defining, while assigning, while creating variables and while naming them. Now let's see the difference. Here I said age is equal to age assignment operator 35 and I will write a capital H and then I will assign a value to it 45. So this is not the wrong format to name a variable. This is the right format. You can mention capital letters in the beginning, but Python will consider this age and this age as different. So let's run and see what happens. Here the 35 is displayed. Why? Because we are printing a age with small a in it and small age is assigned with a value 35. Now let's try to change this small a to capital A and run. So now you see the value 45 here. It means Python is now accessing this data, this variable. So that's the difference. Capital letters and small letters does make a difference while writing a variable name. And then, so do not use Python keywords like if, for, while as variable names. As you progress in this Python bootcamp, you will understand and come to know various kind of Python keywords. So while defining a variable name, you are not supposed to include those pre-built keywords that we have in Python. If, for, while are some of the basic keywords, but there are many other keywords as well. Once you start progressing in this Python journey, you will understand those keywords, and you are not supposed to use those keywords, those built-in Python keywords as variable names to avoid confusion and to avoid errors. So that's all about naming variables and assigning data to the variables. So if you have any queries in this variable section, you can ask me in the chat section. If no, I will move to another part called data types. How to know total list of Python keywords. Yeah, Hari, as said, as we progress in this Python bootcamp, you will understand those keywords, and as we get along with it, I will also share, as you asked, I will also share documentation where you will be seeing all the keywords of Python. So this is not a big thing to worry about. You will catch on with it as we progress in the classes. So any other queries, guys? Okay. So it seems no other questions. So I'll move to the next topic, data types. So Python supports several built-in data types. The first one here, which you see on the screen, is a integer, which is written and called as int. This represents whole numbers such as 500, 7, 6, minus 23. So all numbers, all whole numbers are called as integers. And we have the second data type called as floating point number, which is also written and called as float. This represents decimal numbers like 4.5, 8.2, 6.7. All the decimal numbers fall under the float data type category. And the third one, we have a string, which is written as str. This represents a sequence of characters or text enclosed within the quotation marks. So if you observe in our previous examples here, instructor Rajesh is enclosed within the quotations. So here Rajesh is a string data type. Here Naushad is enclosed within quotations. Naushad is a string data type. 35 is not enclosed within quotations, but it is a whole number. So it is an integer. Age 45 is an integer. And now if I want to show you the price, the float number, float data type, it looks like something like this, a decimal number. So this is a float data type. So that part is clear, right? So we were using data types right from the beginning of the class, but now you came to know what these data types are. And then the fourth one is Boolean, written and called as bool. Python also supports a Boolean data type which has only two possible values, true or false. So Booleans have only true or false, and the purpose of these Booleans are often used to check conditions like whether a user is online or is not online. So here only two conditions we have. If he is online, it's true. If he is not online, it's false. So these Booleans are often used to check conditions or track whether something is complete or not. So this is how you write a Boolean data type. Let me write a variable name is online true. So when I write this is a Boolean data type, and we can only include two types of value here, either true or false. And these both true or false should start with a capital letter, not with a small letter. Only these two values can be assigned in a Boolean data type. We'll learn and then we have these lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. These are very important topics in Python, and as we advance, we'll learn more about these lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries later in the course. So overall, these are built-in data types that Python offers. So one of the best thing about Python is that it is a dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. This means you don't have to explicitly tell Python what type of data or variable, what type of data a variable holds. Python automatically figures out from the value itself. If you are coming from Java background, you normally write and define a variable, assign a variable, something like this. You first write the data type, you then write the variable name, and then you assign the data to this variable name, and then a semicolon. So this is how you write, create a variable in Java or any other programming languages. But in Python, there is no need for you to declare the data type of that variable, because Python is a dynamically typed language, and it will automatically figure out what value is being assigned to the variable. So if you observe here, I haven't mentioned what kind of data type this instructor is. Python understand that this is a string just by reading these quotes and text within these quotes. So here also Python understands that this is a string. And here when Python reads this, Python understands that this is a whole number. This is not within quotes. So this is a integer. And when Python reads this, Python understands that same this is in between quotes. This doesn't have a decimal point in it. And this is a whole number. So it is an integer. And when Python reads this, Python will figure out that this is a float data type because we have a decimal in it. And when Python reads this, Python will figure it out. This is a Boolean data type because we have one of the Boolean values here that is false with a capital F. So this is the reason why we call Python as a dynamically typed language, because it automatically figures out the value. So that part is clear, right? If it is clear, I will move to the next section. If any questions, please ask in the chat section. Okay, no questions. So now let's move on to the next part, checking the type of variable. Now, as you see here, you can find out what kind of data a variable stores using a built-in type function. So this is another function that we are going to learn today. Till now, we were using one function, that was print function, and now we will be learning another function called type function. So the purpose of this type function is it will tell us what data type the variable is. So just few seconds back, I was telling that Python will understand this as a string because it is in double quotes. This as integer because it is a whole number. This as float because it is a decimal point. Now, with blindly to understand what kind of data type it is without figuring out the logic, to understand what guys, mute yourself. We will be using type function. So I will show you with an example. So generally the type function syntax is you write type and then open and closed braces. Here I will be passing this instructor variable as an argument. And now let's run and see what happens. Nothing is shown here in this screen. Though I use the type function and though I passed instructor variable as an argument, nothing is being shown here. Why? Because Python, because type function is doing its job, but printing something on the screen is not the function of type function, is not the character of type function. So to print something on the screen, what we will be doing? We will be writing a print function, right? So print function. So in this print function, I will copy this type and write it here. Now let's execute this. Let's run this and see. So here, if you observe, it says class str. What is str? Str means string. So it is saying that this instructor variable that we passed as an argument to this type function is a string. Now let's write the same thing and same thing for the age and see what happens. Print function, and in print function I will write the type function, and in type function I want to understand what data type the age is. And now let's run it and see here. It says int, right? The first print function is printing the type of instructor, and the second one is figuring out the type of the age. Here if you see, age is an integer, so that is passed, age is passed to the type function, and this type function figured out that age is an integer, and we are printing that with the print function. And so that's how you figure out the type of a variable. And now let's also see what type this price is. Print, and then we include type function, and in type function I will pass price as an argument. So this price is the same variable. This variable I am copy pasting here, and let's run it. And now you see this type as float. Why? Because this price variable is holding a decimal number, so it's a float, right? Now let's do the same for is online. Print function, and then print function, and then I will be writing type function, and then I will be passing is online variable. This variable I will copy this and I will paste it here between the braces of type function, and then I will run it. Now it says bool. Bool is boolean. So this is how you figure out the type of a variable. So the purpose of these functions you will understand as we progress in the this Python classes. But this is how you figure out how to print the type of that variable on the screen. And if you have any queries regarding this type, you can ask me in the chat section. If no queries, I will move forward. Yeah, no queries. So fine. And before moving forward, I want to explain you the development that we see in print function in today's class compared to yesterday's class. So obviously I explained this before. In yesterday's class, we were just printing information within code. This is the hard code information. And in today's class, what we did, we wrote a print function, and we passed these variables as arguments to this print function, so that this print function will be printing the value of this age, value of this price. And we also used print function, and then we passed a type function as an argument in it, and then we figured out the type of the variables. So this is the progress we had seen in today's class in regards with the print function. So if this part is clear, I'll move forward. So when I was saying argument, anything in a function when it is passed within the braces, we call it as an argument. We are passing an argument to the print function. So print function goes through that argument, performs its operations, and does what it has to do, that is to print it. So anything, thing, even in the type function, we are passing age, price, instructor here. So these are called arguments, passing arguments in a function. Yeah, that's technical language that we use to narrate it. So this is all about type function to figure out how it is, how it displays the type. And now let's move forward with type conversions. In other languages, we call it typecasting. In Python documentation, it is called as type conversion. Here, we have two types of type conversions. One is implicit type conversion and one is explicit type conversion. Without getting much further into those details, I will try to help you understand what this type conversion is, because as we progress in the classes, you will understand what an implicit type conversion is and what is explicit type conversion. So in today's class, we will learn the majorly the explicit type conversion. So we can call it as explicit type conversion. So here, what is type conversion? It is the process of converting data from one type to another using a function. So we have a function for we have functions to convert one type of data to another, and we'll be discussing it. So for example, one second. For example, if I have a variable which is a float variable, I want to convert this variable into an integer. I don't want decimal numbers in the age that I am accepting from the users. So what I will be doing, I will be using type conversion process. I will be using type conversion process to convert this float data type into int data type using a function called int function. And in some cases, we will be getting integer values, like in prices. If price of a phone is 100 USD, 100 USD, I want this price of the phone to always be displayed in decimal format, in float format. So to do this, I will be using a float function to convert this into a floating point, into a decimal point. When I use this, this is an integer now. This will be converted to a float value, that is 100.0. 100.0. So when I perform a float operation. So now let's go ahead and see what these functions really are. So here are the main type, one second. So here are the main type conversion functions in Python. So we have int function. We have int function that converts data into an integer, that converts data into a whole number. We have float function that converts data to a floating point number. We have a bool function that converts data to Boolean type, that is true or false. And we have a string function that converts data into a string. So let's get into our VS Code and see how to perform these operations, how to convert this, how to use these functions. So till now, we learned about the print function, we learned about the type function. Now we are gonna learn about a few more functions to convert one data type into another. Let's create a new file here and call it as type conversions.py because it is a Python file. And now let's quickly write some variables. Let's write a float number 0.6. Now I want to convert this float, let's say instead of f, let me be more real. So this price. So price is 14.66. Now I want to convert this float point into an integer. To do that, what I will be doing is I will be using int function. Is my screen, is it clear? Is the font size is clear to you? Is it visible? So yeah, if not visible, send me a message in the chat section. I hope this is clear. So I will be using int function. And what I will be doing, I will be passing this variable as an argument into this int function. Why? Because I want to convert this data that is stored in this variable into integer. Now let's run and see what happens. I see nothing here. No data is printed. Why? Because I haven't used print function yet. So to print something, we use print function. And I will copy this int function and I will paste it here in the print function. So now what print function will be doing? It will be displaying the converted format of the float point, that is 14. So now we are not seeing here. So since price is still holding 14.66, but we are not seeing 14.66 even though we are printing the price variable. Why? because this variable is converted into an integer and it truncates, it removes the floating decimal points, and it will just show the whole number. So now without using int function, let's print the price and see what it is. So if I click enter here, so here on the top you see 14.66. That is the actual price. And in the second line, since we wrote a line to convert this float into an integer, we see only 14. So that's how typecasting works, converting float to an integer. Now we can also convert boolean into an integer. Now let's write a boolean data type, boolean variable. I will write is online. This is a variable name that I want to give, and I will say true. So we have only two data that can be passed in a boolean data type, true or false with capital T and capital F. Now this is now we created a boolean variable. Now I will convert this variable into integer using int function, and now I will also print this on my screen using print function, and I will run this. So what I see here, 1, right? So though I passed this value true to this variable, I see 1 here because int function converted this true into its own integer value. So true and false in boolean are 1 and 0s in integer. So in integer. So if I print this variable directly, let's run this and see. See here, I'm printing is online variable directly. It is saying that I'm carrying a true data. And when I convert this into integer, it says that this true data is converted to 1. Now let's write another variable with false. So online is equal to false with. So this is another Boolean variable that I created, and I want to print it here. Print online. So when I print this, see, you see false here directly. So now I want to convert this data into an integer. So what I will be doing, I will be creating an int function, and I will pass this variable in that print function, and I will pass this variable in this int function, and I will print it. When I run this, you see 0. So in integer, false is 0, false Boolean type is 0, and in integer, when we convert true, it is 1. So ones and zeros. So this is about converting using int function. Similarly, we have float function as well. So guys, we have like 5 more minutes. So what I'll be doing is we have new students joined in just today. If you guys, I will try to pause the class here. We still have float, string, and bool functions to discuss. So what I will be doing is, if you want to register with the course, guys, follow the course fee. I think every one of you is aware of the course fee. I'm sharing the bank details in payment details in the chat section. You can copy those details, and if you want to register, you can transfer the fee to these payment details. And once you send the registration fee, we will register you to the platform, and we will share the platform credentials with you, using which you can access our Plural Labs portal, where we will be uploading all our recordings of our classes throughout these 30 days. And these recordings will be available to you throughout your lifetime. And we'll also have material for every class. Whatever I'm explaining, I will try to convert that into a text PDF file and upload it on the platform, so that you guys so that it will be handy for you guys to access the information whenever you want. So you will be having material for every class. You will be having recorded version for every class in the portal. And from next class onwards, we expect our students to join our classes using our portal itself. There is a live class button here in the portal. If you click on live class and click on join meeting, you will be joining with us in the class from next time. So these platform credentials we will be sharing with you once you register with us by sending the fee to the given bank details in the chat section. And if you have any queries, you can also text me on WhatsApp. My number, which is an integer, is 949-331-5545. Yeah, phone number is also an integer. So this is an integer type. So this is my mobile number. You can text me here on WhatsApp if you have any queries regarding the course, platform, or the classes. So once you, so what you will be getting once you register with us, you will be getting access to the platform. You will be getting recordings and material. You will also get the source code that we are writing during the live class. And this recordings material and source code will be available to you for the lifetime. And you will get instructor access through email, instructor email, and assignment email. So we'll be sharing these emails with you once you register with us. So you can send all your queries to this email, and I, as an instructor, will try to respond to your queries within 24 hours. And I also provide assignments for each and every class. And we have an email for you guys to upload your assignments and send. I will go through all those assignments and I will provide you the feedback. So this will be a everyday daily practice with us. You will be given assignments on daily basis. We'll also be doing some mini and major projects during the program. So all that will be discussed here. And once you register, you'll also get access to our WhatsApp group community. This group community is dedicated to our registered students. So this will be an open group where our students will communicate with each other, where we as instructors will communicate with you. You can raise questions in that group. So that will wholesomely be a classroom environment where we will be discussing about the classes that happen and classes that are yet to happen. And you can reach us directly through that group. So these are all the deliverables that you will be getting. And soon I'm also composing a Python textbook, Python book. So you'll also get free access to the Python book. This will be an ebook. So this ebook will cover every minute details, even the theoretical part of the Python. So all these are the deliverables that you will be getting. And we're also constructing interview material for Python careers. Python careers. So you will be provided with interview material once we are in mid of this Python bootcamp, that is 15 to 20 days. In this gap, we'll also be providing you interview material. So all these are the deliverables that you get once you pay the fees. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. So this will be a recorded version. Even the recording will be uploaded to the community. So make sure you are in that WhatsApp community. If you're not in the community, just text me here in the Zoom. If you have any queries regarding the course classes, you can ask me in the chat section now. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and provide the feedback, or just have a chat with me if you want. Thanks for bearing with me from last 3 days. These were really interesting sessions. And from next class onwards, we will be teaching to the registered students. And yes, we need 1 day of time to create the credentials. So tomorrow we will be having no class because we need 1 day to create all credentials for our students. So tomorrow there will be no class. So take this time, complete the payment, and reach me on WhatsApp. So once you complete, yes, one more thing. Once you complete the payment, I want you to send the screenshot to my WhatsApp number so that we can add you to the platform, share you so that I can share these credentials to you. So make sure you share the screenshot. So I think we have a query from, can I use those projects in the portfolio? See, Arjun, it depends on you. This is not just a copy paste bootcamp. Definitely, once we start developing those projects, you will, and once you are regular to the classes, I'm very sure, very confident that you will be exploring to introduce your new functionalities into those projects beyond what I say. So, yeah, you can definitely include those projects in your portfolio, and you can also make better projects, add more functions to those projects, and include that in your portfolio as well. Can you please share course content? Kishore, are you in the WhatsApp community? Kishore?
No, I'm not.
Are you a new joining? This is.
Yes.
Okay. So please join this WhatsApp community. All materials, recorded videos of these demo classes will be shared here. From day after tomorrow onwards, we'll be not communicating in that WhatsApp community. We'll be having a dedicated group. So Kishore, please join this community. I will share the material once again, the syllabus structure once again. Okay. If possible, please join right now itself. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this will be a one-way communication to us. And yeah, any more queries, guys? I hope everyone is having the payment details with you. If not, you can share, you can text me on WhatsApp. I'll also share these payment details on the WhatsApp community as well. Not a problem. So within next 2-3 hours, you will be having recorded version of this video in the WhatsApp community. You'll also be having the syllabus PDF in the WhatsApp community, the payment details in the community. And if you want to text me, you can. So if you have no queries, we are free to leave the class. So Manu, are you still in the class?
Yeah, I'm
Manu?
still here.
Yeah. I'm just going through your question. You asked like, do we have integer class in Python like Java? Yes, that's what I said. We do have integer classes. So yeah, we'll be discussing those once we get into the OOPS concept. For now, let's focus on what is being discussed in the class.
I mean to ask when you said the type one,
Yeah.
you said it gives us an integer. Is it the integer wrapper class that you meant, or just the integer?
It's the integer class that is built in the Python.
Okay.
Hey, where we will use the type check in real world, like in the real project, like what is the use of that one?
Yeah. The reason to demonstrate a type function today is to show these data types. Once we get into building web projects and so a web project, there what happens is sometimes user might be providing values. We need to confirm that that value is that particular type or not, and if that particular type, then we have to perform other operations on it. So in that cases, we'll be using that type function. But the main purpose of that function to demonstrate today is to show you what Python thinks from the backend.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if you want to discuss anything else, you can unmute yourself and have a chat with me. And if you have no queries, you are free to leave the class. fine. So thank you.